Bharat's map on the posters and banners displayed by the Congress party to commemorate the centenary of the 1924 Congress session in Karnataka's Belagavi has now turned into a political storm, with the BJP drubbing this as vote bank politics by the Congress party. The posters were put up throughout Belagavi town as part of the celebrations for the centenary event, and according to the BJP, the map of Bharat featured on the posters omits the Gilgit region of Pak-occupied Kashmir. That means it doesn't represent all of Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the Aksai Chin region, currently under Chinese administration, which are integral parts of Bharat, because they confirm and they compromise all of Jammu and Kashmir. The BJP has further said that the act shows utter disrespect for Bharat's sovereignty by displaying a distorted map at their Belagavi event, portraying Jammu and Kashmir as a part of Pakistan. All this just to appease their vote bank. Now, in the year 1994, the parliamentary resolution on POK firmly declared that the state of Jammu and Kashmir has been, is and shall be an integral part of Bharat, and any attempts to separate it from the rest of the country will be resisted by all necessary means. Bharat has the will and capacity to firmly counter all designs against its unity, sovereignty and territorial integrity, and demands that Pakistan must vacate the areas of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir which they have occupied through aggression, and resolves that all attempts to interfere in the internal affairs of India will be met resolutely. Even in 2019, the MOSMEA V. Muralidharan, while answering to a question in the Rajya Sabha, stated Bharat's official position in Parliament, contending that Pakistan is an illegal occupation of approximately 78,000 square kilometers of Indian territories in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So-called boundary agreement between China and Pakistan in 1963, Pakistan illegally ceded 5,180 square kilometers of Indian territory in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh to China. The entire union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have been and shall be integral to India. Consistently has called upon Pakistan to vacate all areas under its illegal occupation. This is Bharat, this is done. And this is not the first time that the Congress has stoked controversy with Bharat's map. Earlier too, in September 2023, the Congress shared animated video mocking PM Modi, and the backdrop of the scene showed an Indian map without the northeastern states. In December 2019, Shashi Tharoor posted a distorted map of India and deleted the tweet after being trolled. In June 2015, Karnataka Congress government landed in a soup over an ad showing distorted India map in a published ad that was published in a Malaysian magazine. So what is this? Is this a concerted attempt to deliberately try and cartographically misrepresent Bharat, or to create a narrative that is conducive, convenient for the PLA and also for the Pakistanis? Shahzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us, and we also have Sanket Yanagi, advocate, leans towards the Congress party, or let's say leans away from the BJP. Sanket Yanagi, what happened in Belagavi? Are you trying to say whoever made that didn't notice, or they didn't just care?
It is not an event, or it is not something which everyone has to look for stone in the curd. This is something one has to show the solidarity for the event which has contributed much for the Indian independence. This is the event which marked Indian independence, great events and subsequent developments, where Mahatma Gandhi led this Congress. At that point of time, he had become the president of the Congress party in this event. So this is something unanimously, irrespective of the political differences, one has to come, join, celebrate together. But this is unfortunately has become only an instance at the instance of the Congress party. BJP is against Mahatma Gandhi, BJP is against Congress, the previous Congress which has led the movement for Indian independence. And in the guise of opposing Congress, BJP is opposing every event which has contributed much for the independence of the country. This is most unfortunate. So it is an event which marked the presidency of Mahatma Gandhi. One has to show the solidarity, not to pick up something or the other and see that the event is disturbed or distorted. This is not
You're joining us via remote link. Shehzad Poonawalla with us here in the studio, looking for a stone in a curd. Why are you trying to do that? Look at the larger picture. Why can't
Anand,
the BJP do that?
You generously gave Mr. Enagi an opportunity to condemn outrightly, especially on such an event which is having so much significance, that such posters, not one poster, the entire town was pasted with such posters, but instead of condemning that act of showing a distorted map of India where Pakistan has been handed over Jammu Kashmir, he has condemned BJP for raising the issue. Imagine BJP is saying that Jammu Kashmir अखंड भारत का हमारे भारत का हिस्सा है. That is being condemned, but those who are saying Jammu Kashmir is with Pakistan, it should be celebrated and should not be condemned at all. And this is not an error or a cartographical error or distortion. It is a mindset. Let me tell you why. Rahul Gandhi went and stood with Ilan Omar, who advocated Kashmir should be given to Pakistan. 9th of November 2024, Karnataka Congress had tweeted one more such picture where the Jammu Kashmir was shown as part of Pakistan. Shashi Tharoor in 2022 had released a manifesto and he was contesting the election. He had shown Jammu Kashmir as part of Pakistan. In 2019, same Shashi Tharoor had shown a similar map of India where Jammu Kashmir was shown as part of China and Pakistan. Rahul Gandhi, 16th of September 2023, has tweeted same thing, which you have just alluded to. 13th of February 2020, at the peak of COVID, Rahul Gandhi had tweeted a distorted map of India. And this is not just pictures. Let me give you the mindset. DK Suresh, brother of DK Shivkumar, South India should separate from North India. Saifuddin Soz, in his book, Kashmir should be independent. Bharat Jodo Yatra started with George Ponaiya, who said, I don't want to step on Bharat Mata because I will get scabies. Sonia Gandhi is co-president of FDL-AP, which has advocated for independent Kashmir. And Congress itself has opposed the removal of 370 and advocated the line of Pakistan. And finally, since Mr. Enagi is from Karnataka, B.K. Hariprasad, Pakistan is not our enemy, it is an enemy for BJP. Add all this together, singing in tune of Pakistan has become Congress's main agenda. Therefore, I call them the new Muslim League or the new Pakistan Awam Morcha. And they are advocating that Kashmir should go to Pakistan.
Sanket Yanagi, respond.
Yes. In the guise of opposing Congress and the Congress-led government and the Congress-led event, the BJP is involving to oppose even 1924 event, number one. Number two, they have opposed Mahatma Gandhi, they downgraded him, they ridiculed him in many other ways, and they say that they even celebrate the one who is the killer of Mahatma Gandhi, they commemorate him. That's all right, the people have seen. But you see, once they are enjoying independence now, and they celebrate independence, Pradhan Mantri says independence must be celebrated in one way. They insert those who have contributed for the welfare of the country at that point of time, or for the independence of the country, who have sacrificed their personal life and that contributed everything for the country's independence. And in one way, the BJP is exposing itself about its mentality or attitude towards independent India, number one. Are they joining hands with the BJP in a way to oppose 1924 event or commemoration of that event? So is it not a British mindset that they do not allow the event also to be held peacefully? And time and again they pick up one or the other things and say that this is against Congress. So forget about Congress. It is not Congress. It is something, a freedom struggle connected to it.
My entire articulation was about whether you condemn the Congress party putting up such posters officially in Belagavi, which has shown against the unity and integrity of India. And this is not the first time that you all have taken a stand against the unity, integrity and sovereignty of India. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has gone on foreign soil and said that there should be intervention into India in US and UK. He said this statement. Now, when you are talking about freedom struggles and you have quoted Mahatma Gandhi, let me tell you about Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi had two fundamental things. He said, Hey Ram, even when he was passing away, on his Samadhi, Hey Ram is written, and you have doubted the existence of Shri Ram. So you have gone away from Gandhi. Mr. Mahatma Gandhi was advocating for Gau Raksha. You have advocated that openly the cow should be cut in Kerala, and that person had joined the Bharat Jodo Yatra. So don't teach us about Gandhi. You have only reduced him to the name, and that to a fake surname of Gandhi being made as Gandhi. We have lived up to the ideals of Gandhi, but this is not about ideals of Gandhi. Did Gandhiji want Jammu Kashmir to be parceled off like this to Pakistan? Today the question is only this, Mr. Yanagi, and I'm asking you once again. I have quoted 10 instances where deliberately Congress, siding with Pakistan, has taken stands which are in favor of Pakistan, even including on issue of Kashmir. Now can you please tell me, do you condemn or do you support the poster of Jammu Kashmir being shown, so the map of India being shown where Jammu Kashmir is shown as part of Pakistan? Do you support it or are you against it? If you are against it, should Congress party not give explanation categorically?
Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh also.
Yes, that's right, Ladakh.
Let me come back to you. Whether you celebrate Nathuram Godse or Mahatma Gandhi, number one. Number two, do you still condemn Mahatma Gandhi, or do you accept this as something which has to be celebrated, and do you support this event wholeheartedly, or you just pick up something and say that this is against integrity of nation, this, that, and again you want to disturb the event itself? Because this is something
Mr. Yanagi, sorry.
1 minute.
Mr. Yanagi, 1 second. Let me stop you right there. Mr. Yanagi, 1 second.
Any event which is connected to independence of India,
okay,
would you oppose it or not? That's
now, Mr. Yanagi, just 1 second. Mr. Yanagi, I think there is a translation error or there's some error in communication. Let me reiterate for you. You are saying this event is to celebrate independence of India and to celebrate Mahatma Gandhi. Would Mahatma Gandhi want that the crown of India, the map of India, the boundaries of India should be distorted? So in fact, you have disturbed and desecrated this event by putting up a map of India where Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh is shown as part of Pakistan and China. Point number one. Point number two, because you're obsessed with Godse and Gandhi debate, Nathuram Godse's worshipper Babulal Chaurasia is a member of the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh. He built a temple for Godse. So please deal with him. But today's topic is, should India be Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, for which Modi ji is working? Yes.
Very well. Can I answer this?
Yes, take a stand.
Because BJP has no pre-independence history and Congress has a history for independence. BJP considers every event which is connected to pre-independence is Congress event, and that is no way connected to them, that they have opposed earlier also and now also. It is showing British mindset in fact. BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, sometimes behaves like a British Janata Party, which is not acceptable. And sometimes they show the tendency and approach to show that they have the hand in glove with a BJP that is not acceptable to the society. In one way, they oppose BJP, they oppose the Britishers. In other way, their talks and deeds and all are connecting to the BJP with Britishers in one or the other way. So in my personal opinion, BJP has to change its mindset at least towards something which has done for the country's independence.
So now I have heard both sides, and may I just ask a few questions, Sanketh? When a particular leader, and you can tell me who it was, who said that the Congress should not become a political outfit and it should not become a turn-up, and it should remain an independent entity that continues to help and build the conscience of the country, and it should not turn political. But despite that person saying so, the Congress turned into a political party. Was that respecting or disrespecting? The person who said this was Mahatma Gandhi, that it should not become a political party. Secondly, when a Sam Pitroda tweets an article written by a Sudhindra Kulkarni which says that the person responsible for the constitution is Jawaharlal Nehru and not Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, is that respecting those people who fought for the freedom struggle, or is that appropriating the work of those who fought for this freedom struggle? When the first Prime Minister of the country kept the Law Minister and the Home Minister outside the negotiations of Jammu and Kashmir and entered into something which is as egregious as a 370 and also never even mentioned the existence of a 35A, did they do service to the country or disservice to the country? When the first Prime Minister of the country turns around and says that not a blade of grass grows there, so what's the big deal? When all of Aksai chain is given away and not even fought for properly, and the PLA takes control of that particular area. Now, is that respecting the Congress values, or is that disrespecting the Congress values? And in 1924, it was a Congress Adhiveshan. There is no celebration of independence there. It is a Congress Adhiveshan, and 100 years of the Congress Adhiveshan that you are celebrating in 1924. Do you want me to list out what happened in 1924, 1925, 1926, 1927 all across the country, and what the Congress's response was when more than 600 different riots, communal riots took place? So, sir, who talked about one country? Who talked about the fact that there should be no partition? Who talked about the fact that Congress and that Bharat is a Hindu nationalist country in 1939 but changed tack in 1941? There are many questions that can be asked about what the Congress's actual participation in the freedom movement was, sir.
One by one, let me answer.
Did Prime Minister Attlee Richard, did he credit the Congress party for Bharat's freedom movement, or did he credit those who had decided that, who had turned the forge, the British forge, and created the Azad Hind forge? So, sir, the Congress to appropriate everything to itself, and within that only towards the Nehruvian thought process, and discount everybody else, how is that respecting the country? The fourth and most important point that I want to make, Sanket Yanagi, is it's not one mistake, sir. You make an error, sir, you rectify the error, you don't repeat it. But in the last 1.5 years, this has been done oftentimes. Portions that have been claimed by the PLA, portions that have been forcibly occupied by an enemy or an entity that was created out of Bharat, that is Pakistan. Those portions have been obliterated from Bharat's map. Portions that the PLA or the CCP wants to control or aims to control, the palm and five fingers. Time and again, those portions have been taken away on Congress communication. What is this whole intent then?
Yes.
Is it truly in the spirit of what was organized in Belagavi then?
I think this is the longest question. One by one, let me answer it.
Because I also give you a patient hearing, hoping that you would address one of these.
First of all, BJP has no moral right because it has not raised this question of Chinese aggression even till today. The Prime Minister doesn't take the name of China at all. What is their answer to that? First of all, what is their answer? In my opinion, one by one, please. They don't have the moral right to raise this question about the map, first of all. When they themselves have surrendered it and allowed the China to have an aggression, and they have not questioned it, they still allowed them to enjoy. Forget about that. Now about your question, Congress was not abolished or continued as a political outfit even after independence. It is the will of the people which has elected it, not themselves. If the people do not want it, they would have rejected Congress. That was very much open to the
will of the people elected somebody else, sir, across all provinces to be the president of the Congress party and also to lead the country.
That may be your opinion or the...
No, sir, that is as per written, chronicled by those who were witness to what happened in that closed room and when the chits were open. I am not quoting by figment of imagination. I am quoting published authors and people who were present in that room, and it's been there.
If the people were not happy with the Congress, if the people wanted the Congress not to be a political outfit after independence, they would have rejected, they would not have...
Had the Congress, the point is Mahatma Gandhi said Congress should not fight the Constituent Assembly elections at all. They should not become a political outfit.
People wanted it.
No, did people want, or did some
people
other
elected
entities?
Them.
Did some other entities? Sir, history tends to repeat itself. What happened in 1946 also happened in 2012. Although with another movement called India Against Corruption, whose ideologue again said don't turn political, but then they said will of the people says turn political. So history repeats itself.
1 minute, let me answer this question. The Congress has not entered the parliament by backdoor politics. It contested an election.
Sir, every statement of yours, the first use of Article 356 to sack a government, to sack an elected government was done by a Congress Prime Minister. It was not about what the Congress was done. It was about the will of Mahatma Gandhi and whether or not the Congress did respect Mahatma Gandhi or not. Did the Congress respect all those people who contributed to Bharat's freedom equally? What was done with Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose? What was done? How was B.R. Ambedkar treated? How was Sardar Patel treated? As the Home Minister of the country who unified the Bharat that we see today and kept out of Jammu and Kashmir. So, sir, please don't digress. And I said turned around again. In the past, sir, in Karnataka itself, Congress has made false representation of Bharat's map. As is ratified under a Congress ruled government, a resolution had been passed by unanimously, and it was repeated again when the abrogation of 370 was also passed in Parliament. I am saying you can commit a mistake once, but you do it again and again and again. What does that imply?
The question is that what was the legacy of the British? Divide and rule. Who's dividing and ruling? Whether on caste, whether on linguistic lines, whether in states, or whether saying that South should separate from the North? The Congress. D.K. Suresh has said that Yanagi ji has not made a single comment. 28 minutes have been finished on this show. I have said that say once that Jammu Kashmir is entire Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. Not once has Congress party taken that stand. And Congress party gave Kachatibu Island, Congress party gave Aksai Chin, Congress party gave POK, Congress party gave Tia Pangnak, Congress party gave Zorawar Fort. And after that, Congress party is saying that, oh, we are for united and integrity of India. Are sir, please take a stand. Did Mahatma Gandhi want that India should be done into a vivisection and parts should be parceled off to one or the other? And sir, you are talking so much about British ke saath kaun hai? Sir, George's cross was there on the naval ensign for 70 years. Why you didn't remove it? It was Modi ji who removed it and Chhatrapati Shivaji and sign was put there. You allowed Rajpath to continue. We made it Kartavya Path. You allowed the entire symbolism of British legacy to continue. And what contribution Madam Antonia Maino has into the freedom struggle of India, I don't know. But Devipad Chaudhary and Jagatpati Kumar has taken bullets on their chest to defend the Indian flag in 1942. Sonia Gandhi is part of FDL-AP. She is the co-president. Co-president hote hue, they have said that Kashmir should be given independence. Does Congress party agree? If not, then Sonia Gandhi, why she has not left FDL-AP?
BJP, Mr. Shahzad, Mr. Anand and CNN are searching for the black cat in a dark room where there is no cat.
No,
That's
sir.
it. That's my answer.
I am searching for the right map of Bharat to be represented all across, and the collective will of our polity to go back and not just claim that
they are
land,
searching,
but
there is
get
no
it back,
cat.
sir. Get it
There
back
is
is
no
what
cat.
I would like to see. All our politicians collectively working together for this, because this is for Bharat. It's not for any
They are
individual
parceling it out to Pakistan.
any individual entity.
You can
I thank
search
you.
cat anywhere, but not here.
I thank you, Saket ji and Shehzad. Thank you very much. We're going to take a very short break. Stay with us here on The Right Stand.
Young cricketer Sam Konstas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange for sure, and before the actual incident happened, there was going a bit of banter between Virat Kohli and the other fielders to Sam Konstas. The exact actual incident happened between the 10th and the 11th over, and as you can see here on the screen, Virat Kohli, between the change of overs between 10th and 11th, was changing over, walking, towards the other end. You could pretty much see that he was, deliberately, in a way, changed his path and, got into a physical confrontation with Sam Konstas. And anything in cricket, anything, be it verbal sly or any jibe, until unless it is not physical, it's not an issue, and it's all part of the sledging. But once it happens, once this physical confrontation happens, it becomes an issue, and it would go to the match referee. Sanctions could be there. You could be looking at a level 2 offence. It could be, if the match referees and the umpires reported, it could be a level 2 offence which could lead to 2 demerit points, which may again, it's not something, it will be very serious for Virat Kohli, because 4 demerit points means that he could be suspended for the next game, and Virat Kohli, remember, he has not had a demerit point since 2019, so this could very much lead to a demerit point. And as you can see in the visuals, Virat Kohli's, it was quite deliberate, that the change of path there, it was
but
something that he wanted.
How it is, when India take on the Aussies. Interestingly, the Test legend Ricky Ponting insists that Virat Kohli did this deliberately. So what happens from here on, and what are the repercussions for Virat Kohli if it is found that this action was indeed intentional and was deliberate against Sam?
As you said, it's not an out of character stuff from Virat Kohli. When for the Indian team things don't work out with the ball, I mean the fielders try to bring in some pressure. So this was kind of a pressure tactic, you could see. But as I said, until and unless it is something which is not physical confrontation as such, it's all part and parcel of the game. But when it comes to that physical confrontation, it becomes an issue. And regarding the repercussions, as I said earlier, level 2 offence this could be if the on-field umpires report it to the match referee. Level 2 offence carries a suspension points and match fees, also 50% to 100% match fees could be gone, or it could lead to 2 suspension points as well, to 2 demerit points. And remember, 4 demerit points is where at a stage a player could be banned or could be benched for the coming test match or maybe the coming international match. So in this case, it could very well be the least or the maximum could be just 2 demerit points. But then again, this is not something, it would be very serious where Virat Kohli would be missing the game. But in the game of cricket, you don't want to see these kind of physical confrontation. And as I said, the sledges could very well be, it's all part and parcel of the game until and unless it is not physical. And you could pretty much see from the screen, it was very deliberate from Virat Kohli trying to put the young opener under pressure, and it did not work as well. Right immediately after that over, Sam Konstas really went after the bowlers, and he got 16 of 65 deliveries in the end. So it didn't really work out for Virat Kohli and Team India. It could have been, look, if this was a case where Sam Sam Konstas loses his focus and gotten out in the next over, we all would have been praising for Virat Kohli to, manufacturing that wicket. But in this case, it did not work out. And of course, this would definitely go to the match referee, and it could lead to demerit points, a minimum of 2 at least for Virat Kohli.
That's true. And Vineet, these are all tactics that we've seen over the years, how cricketers also tend to intimidate the other player. And this one is a debutant. He's a young player. What I found very fascinating is that he actually admires Virat Kohli. He is Virat Kohli's biggest fan. I wanted to understand from you that while you were speaking, this question arose in my mind that when that shoulder bump happened, was it followed by a heated exchange of words between the two players?
Yes, of course. Sam Konstas, before he made his debut, he in many press conferences did say that Virat Kohli is his favorite Indian player, one of his idols as well. And he, in a way, very maturely has brushed down the entire episode, to the national broadcasters he spoke about, and he said, it's all part of the game, whatever stays on the field remains on the field. So really good from a young 19-year-old to come up with a statement.
CNN News 18's investigation on Bharat's drug menace has now reached the northeast of our country. CNN News 18's Anvit Srivastav visited the Indo-Myanmar border in Mizoram to also uncover a smuggling racket. And the smuggling is of a new drug that is causing havoc in the country. It's not a mere drug menace, but a dangerous, diabolical plan to derail Bharat. Meanwhile, the Assam Police's Special Task Force, or STF, has apprehended 2 additional individuals suspected of having connections with the Al-Qaeda affiliate Ansarullah Bangla team. This follows the prior arrest of 8 terror suspects. But first up, our special CNN News 18 investigation of the amount of narcotics that's flowing into the country, the money that's been made out of that entire drug economy. Is it fueling the seeds or sowing the seeds of unrest, violence and mayhem?
One of India's 7 sisters, Mizoram has become the gateway to the fastest growing drug trades in the country. Fueled by porous borders with Myanmar, Golden Triangle syndicates and local insurgent networks, the region is grappling with a narcotics crisis that has far-reaching consequences. From heroin smuggled across international borders to synthetic drugs manufactured in clandestine makeshift laboratories.
More than 200 kgs of methamphetamine has been seized in the past 2 years in this state by the police. And only till this year, over 1,000 kgs of caffeine has already been seized. Meth and caffeine is the combination that makes tablets known as Yaba, which are fast replacing other party drugs like ecstasy and MDMA. But what is Yaba and what is its story? We are in Mizoram, and for the next 4 days, we'll be traveling extensively to the border areas and to remote areas in the Myanmar-Mizo border to find out what are the routes from where Yaba is transported and smuggled into India, and what is the story of Yaba.
Yaba, also known as dragon pill, horse drug and crazy pill, a deadly combination of methamphetamine and caffeine packed into brightly colored pills. These are as deceptive as they are dangerous. Originating from Southeast Asia, this potent stimulant first found its footing in the underground party circuits of Thailand and Myanmar. Now it's making waves across the globe, including India, as a new age party drug that promises an intense high. But what makes Yaba so popular? First is its affordability and availability, and second, its effects are highly sought after in party scenes. Euphoria, increased energy, and a distorted sense of reality. But the high comes with a heavy cost: addiction, paranoia, hallucinations, and even permanent brain damage.
These are like highly stimulant drugs. So when a person uses maybe smoke or inhale or inject or take a tablet of, say, Yaba, it increases your heart rate as well as your blood pressure. So what that can lead to is, the small blood vessels in the brain, they can rupture, causing stroke in some of the patients. But some of the main reasons why amphetamines or Yaba is used among the younger population, and especially among the party goers, are the fact that, it makes you more vigorous, more active. You can stay up nights and nights together without sleeping. And they say that it gives you lots of energy. And especially among young people, they use it for, to increase their sexual pleasure, prolongation of the sexual activity, as well as increasing libido.
From the dense jungles of Myanmar to the neon-lit clubs of New York and London, Yaba is no longer just a regional problem. But how does this drug make its way from clandestine makeshift laboratories of Myanmar to India, and then to the streets of Central Asia, Europe, and even the United States?
Well, we are in Champai right now, one of the 11 districts of Mizoram and one on the easternmost border. The jungle that you see behind me is Myanmar, and I am right now standing in India. I am right now standing in Tiao River, which you can see has almost dried down, which also makes Champai one of the most prominent routes for the smugglers to cross over into India with Yaba.
CNN News 18 travelled to over a dozen villages along the Indo-Myanmar border and managed to track down a woman who was deeply entrenched in the Yaba smuggling into India.
Yes, Yaba is coming into India a lot. The number is very high. From what I have heard, Yaba is mainly produced in Tahan district of Myanmar. I too have transported Yaba tablets from Myanmar into India at least 3 times. Some of the popular routes lie alongside Darkhai, Fatlang and areas like Rikatwar that are close to India. Lilat is another area. It is not easy to transport in India given the security setup. I have heard that the inflow of these drugs has increased into India from Myanmar. The main reason for drugs smuggling is profit it gets us. For one trip that may easily contain 2 to 3 lakh Yaba tablets, the carriers are paid around 1 to 2 lakhs.
Law enforcement agencies believe that the organized crime syndicates are exploiting international trade routes to push this pill into global markets, turning it into a multi-billion-dollar industry.
About 500 kilometers of border we have with Myanmar, the state of Mizoram. And in this 40% is Tiao River. And the rest of it is densely covered forest. And Tiao River is usually dry in non-monsoon seasons. So any vehicle can just pass through and come into it. Indians can go into Myanmar 16 kilometers inside of it on foot, and the same thing is for the Myanmaris. So Myanmaris can get into Indian territory up to 16 kilometers on foot without a need of any valid visa. So that has been a great challenge because no one can stop the person as such. Narcotics money which has been used, the mainly used to fund the rebels which are there in the Myanmar side. You understand that it is not just the male persons are involved, even the women and the children are being pushed into this. So last year, the whole year, we got about 250 kgs of Yaba tablets. And this year so far, we have seized more than 600 kgs.
In the lab, a single pill can cost as little as 40 to 50 rupees, but once it crosses into India, the price doubles to 80 to 100 rupees per pill. By the time it hits metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai or Bengaluru, Yaba's price skyrockets to 500 rupees at the very least. Growing demand means one pill could cost 800 to 1000 rupees per pill as well. It's not limited to pushing drugs and making money off it. Authorities suspect that proceeds from Yaba trafficking are empowering criminal networks and exacerbating violence in the northeast. Ephedrine is one of the main components of methamphetamine production. China is one of the world's largest producers and exporters. Despite stringent regulations, large quantities of ephedrine are diverted from legal pharmaceutical industries and smuggled into Myanmar. Hidden in shipments of industrial goods or transported through dense jungle trails, these chemicals then reach the infamous drug labs in Myanmar, where the processing of ephedrine into billions of Yaba pills then begins. Myanmar's destabilized government further exacerbates the rise of the drug trade. With weakened law enforcement and fractured governance, Myanmari drug lords and armed militias use proceeds to fund insurgencies and purchase illegal weapons. Coincidentally, there's an alarming influx of illegal arms into Manipur, a state already grappling with ethnic strife and insurgency.
Well, great job done there by Anvit, but there were a lot of hurdles. We must tell our viewers it's been done with a lot of hurdles and a lot of people watching us very closely while we are putting this story out. Colonel Shanti Kumar Sapam, spokesperson of the Meitei Heritage Society, is with us. Dr. Ankita Datta, researcher and columnist, with us. And Dr. G. Sri Kumar Menon, former director of the National Academy of Customs and Narcotics, also with us. Namaste, Jai Hind and Jai Bharat to everybody. Thank you very much. G. Sri Kumar Menon, what we are also trying to understand, while there is a crackdown and there are massive drug hauls that are happening, there is the other aspect of Operation Praghat and this arrest of so many entities who have now come in from Bangladesh into Bharat. They are tending to make papers, but their intentions are very sinister. So there are 2-3 things which are happening in that area which are all coming and colliding with each other. One, that a state like Manipur has a budget of 35,000 crore, the drug economy is 60,000 crore. And that includes Manipur, Mizoram, Myanmar, because those borders are not fenced. The other aspect is their proximity with Bangladesh. The third part is that the radicals and Islamists from Bangladesh who are making entry via these porous borders with Bengal, with Assam, Tripura, etc., and they're seeding themselves here. Are they all somewhere connected? Is this money getting shared between some of these entities, or should we look at each one individually and separately?
Good evening. Thank you for calling me. My take is that, see, if you examine the northeast, including Myanmar and Bangladesh, see, Myanmar has around 11 well-known terror operation, terror gangs. You come to Manipur, it is well known now what's happening there. Cookies and Meiteis are involved in a very internecine clash. Everybody is into the drug business. And on the other side, you find Rohingya refugees pouring in every day into Bangladesh via India, as well as through the Bay of Bengal and as well as through the river Nile. Now, where is the money for all this? It's very easy for us to say that Bangladesh has got a lot of terror operatives and they are coming into India, or people from Myanmar are coming into India. Money, Meiteis and Cookies are fighting. Where is the money? Who is funding them? Now, no nation is in a position to afford to give like earlier times. Earlier, we had a lot of intelligence agencies who were pumping in money. Now that era is gone. Now it is all self-financing, like our colleges and universities. So, and this is the easiest thing available. Now, if you see about Yaba, in Myanmar, they manufacture 13 varieties of Yaba. But out of this, only 2 are popular in this part of the country. One is the grey tablet, which is of a less potent strength, and the other is the pink one, which is very much in demand, especially in Bangladesh. The bulk of the Yaba tablets which are coming into India are coming for proceeding to Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the destination country. Because of their religious compulsions, they have some sort of a hesitation in trying the very hardcore narcotics like cocaine, heroin and all those things. Whereas this is considered to be a little more, just a party drug, and it is taken in a very, mild way it is taken. But as earlier the program we saw, one of the doctors telling us, why it's a party drug? Because it is also known as a sex drug. Because it stimulates your sexual urge very much. So that is why this is very great demand by youngsters, especially for parties and all those things. And like Anvit just said, with the new year around the corner, the demand for this drug is definitely going to rise up.
Right.
It's really, congratulations Anand. It was a great coincidence that Assam police could seize a major seizure, and it was reported by your channel. Please accept my congratulations. And what India has to take care, my personal view is that Bangladesh is becoming a big problem for us. And you see, we don't know whether it is immaturity or whatever it is. A man borrowing 2 Bayraktar drones and trying to threaten a country like India, he must be literally out of his senses. And morning I had said, if we want, India can give them a very, very solid lesson. See, when you see the perspective from Bangladesh, Bangladesh says West Bengal Malda district has over 49 laboratories manufacturing Yaba. So we don't know how far it is correct or wrong, but that is their allegation. And like I told in the morning, there are two active circuits in this side. One is the Silver Triangle comprising India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and the other is what is known as the Golden Wedge. We are all familiar with Golden Triangle and Golden Crescent, but we are not familiar with the Golden Wedge, which starts from Himachal Pradesh because that is the pharmaceutical hub of India. And that is where you find bulk of the cough syrups containing ephedrine is manufactured.
Correct.
And lakhs and lakhs of bottles of ephedrine are going into Bangladesh because they are just gulping it down. Now, so that is another aspect of it. But the moment the government decides that Bangladesh needs to be taught a lesson, it is very simple. We don't have to go for any other type of confrontation. Just tell our agencies, relax, take it very calmly. The rest things will happen.
Our challenge is, how do we stop this, and how does this, is this a huge challenge? Because that region is in a flux, Colonel Sapam. And either ways, there is a threat to not just our security, but also our sovereignty.
Yes.
Yes. Anandji, good evening. Thank you for having me here in your show. And salute to the nation. Well, being from Manipur, my state is very deeply affected by this drug menace and the mayhem which is taking place in Manipur. And I really salute the the central government for giving decisions to make the fencing and do away with the FMR. These two are to be very effectively implemented. If these are not implemented, then I don't know how far we are going, how far we will be successful. I do not see much. I don't think we can do much about checking all these things. And as of now, I have stopped keeping a record of how how many drugs have been caught, and then how many people arrested and all this, because the influx is so much. Then I have it's become a normal thing for us. So it's a very dangerous thing for our people over here, entire Northeast as well as the country as such. And if it is for other country also, I have little difference in opinion. Then when you have if you commit an action, then there will be reaction somewhere, sometimes.
Right.
So I feel like we should play very fair for the humanity, for the human mankind, and I must all the people in this region. And recently the central government has imposed this protection area also, and it should be the government, the state government as such. We all must follow it properly, because the central government has thought about very nicely, and they have placed it in a very matured way that the Northeast has to be saved from other outside forces. And if you see, if I just have to, I would like to just mention one thing, that Burma Act, various things are happening. Chin Association of Maryland and all these things are developing. And when we talk about the funding and all these things, in America, in 2024 in March, the budget signed by the US is $167 million. So which is going to be earmarked especially for Burma. And I don't know what is going to happen. I'm very deeply saddened by the development which is taking place in the Northeast, and especially in my state. And when we talk about Mizoram also, I had said in one of the channel that the CM of Mizoram should be immediately arrested. He can't make this kind of a statement. If I make it in Jantar Mantar, and if the government agencies hear me telling this, I will be arrested immediately. That is what I think. So we have to take, the union government has to take strong action against any गद्दार जो बोलते हैं उसको ठीक से समझाना चाहिए. But this गद्दार, after taking all the facilities and this kind of things, forming Christian states and all these things, and very sad to say at this time, Merry Christmas to all the Christian brothers and sisters all over the world. But one thing is, nefarious activities taking place from the church is very highly condemnable. All the nefarious, 250 churches are registered with FCRA. Just imagine 250 churches.
Right.
So why they require the foreign funds by the churches?
Correct.
All these activities, please listen to Mark T. Hawkip. His speeches, his hate speeches in the churches is very, very, very sad, I would say.
Well, those are aspects beyond the purview of this conversation right now, and we can only hope that the intelligence officials and the investigating authorities who are supposed to be responsible for the internal security of the country are keeping close tabs and watch on what the activities of certain entities that you have named here are. I'm going to come back to this whole aspect of are these somewhere linked? Is this money reaching terror outfits, and somewhere is this money, because there was a similar narco-terror model that was being followed using heroin in Jammu and Kashmir. Is Yaba one of those entities or elements which is fueling a certain level of terror activities or secessionist activities in the northeast of our country? Now, be it that whether that's emanating from Bangladesh, whether that's emanating from Myanmar, somewhere are these loosely connected? Ankita Datta, thank you for your patience. Yes,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Anandji. Yes, and these are all these angles are definitely connected since the coming to power of the interim government in Bangladesh under Mohammed Yunus and the release of a large number of terrorists, criminals, and simultaneously the threat of various northeastern insurgent groups, mainly Assam's ULFA, the United Liberation Front of Assam, resurfacing again and using Bangladesh as a launch pad for its terror operations. This is a serious emerging threat for the region, because recently the Yunus government had commuted the death sentence of the ULFA chief, sending a clear-cut welcome message to these militant outfits of the northeast to resettle again in Bangladesh. And ULFA and various other northeastern militant organizations, they have had a history of their involvement in the drug trade. Not just their involvement in the drug trade, but also they have a history of aiding and abetting illegal Muslim immigrants from Bangladesh to settle in Assam with the help and support of various Islamic terrorist organizations. And reports have already surfaced of weapons obtained from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and which are being stockpiled in the remote hilly regions of Bangladesh, like Netrokona and other parts of the Chattogram hill tracts, by terrorist organizations like the ABT, Ansarullah Bangla team, and Hizbul Tahrir. And there is very much a possibility that these weapons can eventually land in the hands of militant groups such as ULFA, being supplied. A huge quantity of weapons are also being supplied to these jihadis by radicalized members of the Bangladeshi army, and we certainly cannot rule out the possibility of these weapons of these weapons being used to not just kill innocent Bangladeshi Hindus, but also the fact that they will be eventually supplied through these jihadi networks to the various separatist groups of the northeast to destabilize the region further and further. It is a dangerous cocktail of drugs and religion, and what we need to understand is that it is not just the smuggling of drugs, but Mizoram has become a safe haven for the smuggling of various explosive substances, for the smuggling of gold, foreign cigarettes, foreign currency, fake Indian currency, rhino horns, smuggled wildlife, Burmese betel nuts, etc. The smuggling of Yaba tablets amounting to crores and crores of rupees from Mizoram. From Mizoram, they come to Neelam Bazar in Karimganj in Assam via Manipur. And this has almost become a regular affair along these border areas, because Yaba tablets, they are easy to smuggle and also they are difficult to trace compared to other drugs. And Assam's Karimganj district, its connection with the drug network that is spread across Myanmar and Mizoram via Manipur is something which is extremely important from the perspective of our national security, because Karimganj shares a river border. It shares a riverine border with Bangladesh in Assam's Barak Valley, And of late, Karimganj, especially this Neelam Bazar area, has emerged as one of the major hotspots of not just drug smuggling, but various other illegal activities, including cow smuggling, a den of pornography, etc. And besides Karimganj, this entire South Salmara Mankacha region also, along the Assam, Meghalaya, Bangladesh border that constitutes a part of adjoining Dhubri district in Lower Assam, is another major hub of this illegal cattle and drug trade, which is spread across the entire northeast and beyond. But I congratulate the Assam police for having immediately after coming to power, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, after he took charge in May 2021, the government declared an all-out war against drugs, and the police has got a free hand in dealing with this problem. And I congratulate the Assam police for having been able to seize narcotics worth several crores of rupees and unearthing numerous sensational details of drug deals going on.
Interestingly,
going
these areas that you mentioned were the places from where members of JMB, members of those affiliated to ANT and also AQIS, these nefarious elements, and also people who have come into our country illegally and seem to have got fake papers. This entire operation is also in the same regions that you have just mentioned, which is also becoming a hub for illegal, not just narcotics or drug trade, but also some of the other aspects that you mentioned. Now, we are cognizant, we are having a long conversation, we have done an investigation, the authorities are cracking down, some arrests are being made, but is there a lot more that needs to be done? The jury is out on that, and somewhere most of us would say yes, much more needs to be done. But kudos to the investigating authorities for this crackdown, and let there be many more such arrests of illegals and also illegal operations in our country. To our panelists, thank you very, very much. We're going to take a very short break. Stay with us.
Cricketer Sam Konstas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange for sure, and before the actual incident happened, there was going a bit of banter between Virat Kohli and the other fielders to Sam Konstas. The exact actual incident happened between the 10th and the 11th over, and as you can see here on the screen, Virat Kohli, between the change of overs between 10th and 11th, was changing over, walking, towards the other end. You could pretty much see that he was, deliberately, in a way, changed his path and, got into a physical confrontation with Sam Konstas. And anything in cricket, anything, be it verbal sly or any jibe, until unless it is not physical, it's not an issue, and it's all part of the sledging. But once it happens, once this physical confrontation happens, it becomes an issue, and it would go to the match referee. Sanctions could be there. You could be looking at a level 2 offence. It could be, if the match referees and the umpires reported, it could be a level 2 offence which could lead to 2 demerit points, which may again, it's not something, it will be very serious for Virat Kohli, because 4 demerit points means that he could be suspended for the next game, and Virat Kohli, remember, he has not had a demerit point since 2019, so this could very much lead to a demerit point. And as you can see on the visuals, Virat Kohli's, it was quite deliberate, that the change of path there, it was something that he wanted.
How it is, when India take on the Aussies. Interestingly, the Test legend Ricky Ponting insists that Virat Kohli did this deliberately. So what happens from here on, and what are the repercussions for Virat Kohli if it is found that this action was indeed intentional and was deliberate against Sam?
As you said, it's not an out of character stuff from Virat Kohli. When for the Indian team things don't work out with the ball, the fielders try to bring in some pressure. So this was kind of a pressure tactic, you could see. But as I said, until and unless it is something which is not physical confrontation as such, it's all part and parcel of the game. But when it comes to that physical confrontation, it becomes an issue. And regarding the repercussions, as I said earlier, level 2 offence this could be if the umpires, on-field umpires, reported to the match referee. Level 2 offence carries a suspension suspension points and match fees, also 50% to 100% match fees could be gone, or it could lead to two suspension points as well, two demerit points. And remember, 4 demerit points is where at a stage a player could be banned or could be benched for the coming test match or maybe the coming international match. So in this case, it could very well be the least or the maximum could be just 2 demerit points. But then again, this is not something, it would be very serious where Virat Kohli would be missing the game. But in the game of cricket, you don't want to see these kind of physical confrontation. And as I said, the sledges could very well be, it's all part and parcel of the game until and unless it is not physical. And you could pretty much see from the screen, it was very deliberate from Virat Kohli trying to put the young opener under pressure, and it did not work as well.
A confrontation between Virat Kohli and Sam Konstas after an inadvertent shoulder bump between the two has spiced up the Border Gavaskar trophy. The two were involved in a heated exchange following the incident, with neither party ready to back down before Usman Khwaja and the on-field players intervened, and the umpire also came in there to try and calm things down. Australia legend Ricky Ponting was clear that it was Virat Kohli who triggered the collision. Now have a look at where Virat is actually walking. He walks from, there's a long shot, that long camera actually shows that Virat is walking from right outside the pitch and then comes right in the same track or line as Sam Konstas. Sam Konstas is actually looking down on his gloves, and he said that also, that he was not seeing who's coming there, and that bump up happened. So the ICC has handed out reportedly a punishment to Virat Kohli, a 20% of his match fee as fine and 1 demerit point. Sam Konstas has come out and said that it was inadvertent, and that's exactly how he's deposed, and perhaps that's why things have calmed down and died down. Perhaps Virat Kohli was reacting to the fact that this young debutant who's got a 50 in his debut went after Jasprit Bumrah, tonked him for 14 runs that included a reverse scoop, and that perhaps riled up Virat Kohli, who wanted to just rub it in. With that, it's a wrap of this edition of The Right Stand. Stay with us, Brass Tacks follows.
Cricketer Sam Konstas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange for sure, and before the actual incident happened, there was going a bit of banter between Virat Kohli and the other fielders to Sam Konstas. The exact actual incident happened between the 10th and the 11th over, and as you can see here on the screen, Virat Kohli, between the change of overs between 10th and 11th, was changing over, walking, towards the other end. You could pretty much see that he was, deliberately in a way, changed his path and, got into a physical confrontation with Sam Konstas. And anything in cricket, anything, be it verbal sly or any jibe, until unless it is not physical, it's not an issue, and it's all part of the sledging. But once it happens, once this physical confrontation happens, it becomes an issue, and it would go to the match referee. Sanctions could be there. You could be looking at a level 2 offence. It could be, if the match referees and the umpires reported, it could be a level 2 offence which could lead to 2 demerit points, which may again, it's not something, it will be very serious for Virat Kohli, because 4 demerit points means that he could be suspended for the next game. And Virat Kohli, remember, he has not had a demerit point since 2019, so this could very much lead to a demerit point. And as you can see in the visuals, Virat Kohli's, it was quite deliberate, that the change of path there. It was
but
something that he wanted.
How it is, when India take on the Aussies. Interestingly, the Test legend Ricky Ponting insists that Virat Kohli did this deliberately. So what happens from here on, and what are the repercussions for Virat Kohli if it is found that this action was indeed intentional and was deliberate against Sam?
As you said, it's not an out of character stuff from Virat Kohli. When for the Indian team things don't work out with the ball, the fielders try to bring in some pressure. So this was kind of a pressure tactic, you could see. But as I said, until and unless it is something which is not physical confrontation as such, it's all part and parcel of the game. But when it comes to that physical confrontation, it becomes an issue. And regarding the repercussions, as I said earlier, level 2 offence this could be if the on-field umpires report it to the match referee. Level 2 offence carries a suspension points and match fees, also 50% to 100% match fees could be gone, or it could lead to 2 suspension points as well, to 2 demerit points. And remember, 4 demerit points is where at a stage a player could be banned or could be benched for the coming test match or maybe the coming international match. So in this case, it could very well be the least or the maximum could be just 2 demerit points. But then again, this is not something, it would be very serious where Virat Kohli would be missing the game. But in the game of cricket, you don't want to see these kind of physical confrontation. And as I said, the sledges could very well be, it's all part and parcel of the game until and unless it is not physical. And you could pretty much see from the screen, it was very deliberate from Virat Kohli trying to put the young opener under pressure, and it did not work as well. Right immediately after that over, Sam Konstas really went after the bowlers and he got 16 of 65 deliveries in the end. So it didn't really work out for Virat Kohli and Team India. It could have been, look, if this was a case where Sam Konstas loses his focus and gotten out in the next over, we all would have been praising for Virat Kohli to manufacturing that wicket. But in this case, it did not work out, and of course this would definitely go to the match referee and it could lead to demerit points, a minimum of 2 at least for Virat Kohli.
That's true. And Vineet, these are all tactics that we've seen over the years, how cricketers also tend to intimidate the other player, and this one.
Greenlam Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
A very good evening. You're watching Brass Tacks with me, Akanksha Swaroop, and we are coming live to you from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio presented by Greenlam Laminates. It's a full-blown war between India Alliance partners, the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, that too just ahead of the Delhi Assembly polls. Chief Minister Atishi has alleged that the Bharatiya Janata Party is funding candidates of Congress, Sandeep Dikshit and Farhad Suri, for the Assembly elections. She says that the Aam Aadmi Party will talk to other parties of the India bloc to remove Congress from the alliance. That is, if it does not take action against Delhi Congress leader Ajay Maken. This after the Congress treasurer Ajay Maken said that the alliance with Aam Aadmi Party was a mistake and that Kejriwal is an anti-national. Maken has also released a 12-point white paper to highlight the unfulfilled promises of the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi. In fact, the Youth Congress has even filed a complaint against Arvind Kejriwal, accusing him of misleading and deceiving the public with promises of non-existent welfare schemes. But Aam Aadmi Party's senior leader Sanjay Singh has hit back, alleging that the Congress is doing all things that will help the Bharatiya Janata Party in the Assembly election of Delhi, also implying